Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking all of my palettes from Nomad Cosmetics. So I do have 9 palettes from them. Most of them I have received in PR and I'm very thankful for that. But I do want to rank them based on mostly color story because the quality is pretty consistent, but I wanted to give you a ranking. They did just have a Black Friday sale, so hopefully people were able to get that. And I wanted to film this before that, but did not have time with my life and other stuff to do that. So doing it now, I think this is a good way to end the year, doing some ranking videos, and helps me think about what I want to say will be my favorite palettes of the year, and also help me as I prepare to do my declutter. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Colin. I am a non-binary Latinx scientist and lover of makeup with a soft spot for indie makeup and colorful makeup, which you will definitely see in this video. And I have new content every week, so I'd love to have you subscribe. So I am not wearing any Nomad on my face right now. I am wearing kind of my go-to base. No real foundation, a little bit of the Haus Labs foundation in the middle, concealer, and then I'm trying out a new eyeliner, so filming that. I also just filmed a ranking of my Natasha Denona palettes, so that might already be up. I don't know which one of these I'll post first, but that is also coming sometime this week. So I do want to say I do like all of these. I don't think there's any bad palettes here. Some might have shades that I don't like, and I will say that when we're doing it, but I think they have a very consistent formula, a really great formula. It's really good for beginners, especially the colorful shades. They blend really well and really easily, so if you're not used to colorful eyeshadow, I think it's a really good place to start. And I just think their themes and their color stories are so unique and so well done. I really love these, and I really love the brand. I consider the owner, Felicia, a friend. We talk all the time. But some of these I like more than others. So, so rankings are really hard for me. This one was a little hard too, because I love all of these. And so it was like, which one of these couple is going to be my favorite? And I would say the majority of these in the middle, it was kind of hard to rank because it was like, well, I really like this one and I like this one, but which one do I grab more? So I kind of based it on palettes I use more and color stories that I think are more versatile. Also, before I start, I do want to say I have a discount code with Nomad Cosmetics. It's just the word BONES. It'll save you 10%. It's not affiliated. I don't earn any money from it as of right now. If that ever changes, I will let you know. But right now, just saves you 10%. So always use a code or something, never pay full price for any makeup if you can help it. I also want to mention that I don't have some of their older palettes like the Tokyo palette, which does look really beautiful and it has some really interesting shimmers that I know my friend Steven loves, but it's very pastel and I don't wear a lot of pastels. So I haven't bought that one, and I don't have, like, Orient Express is a beautiful neutral palette, really want it. I just haven't bought it. It's one of those things where if I have $80 to spend this month on makeup, I'm gonna buy new things to review versus older things. So a lot of older things that I want just kind of get pushed aside. Okay, so in 9th place is going to be the new holiday palette, the Santa's Village Lapland Finland palette. I also ranked this last in my recent ranking, my last 15 palettes or whatever video I did. And it's not because it's a bad palette, it's just because it's a companion palette. It's small and it's mostly shimmers, so and mostly like iridescent toppers. So it's very much a companion palette versus a standalone for me, and that's why it's gonna rank lower, just for that reason alone. I do think it's really beautiful. I don't think it's made for everybody. So here is the color story. I think the outer packaging is some of the best they've done. I really love the colors in here. This is a really great green matte. This is a really great red, really great gray. The shimmers are all like a sheer topper, so they make a really nice highlighter or an inner corner pop, but they're not their standard shimmer formula, which I prefer, and they're not gonna be for everybody. So if you really like those like iridescent highlighters and toppery shades, you're gonna love this, but if you like a thick, really vibrant shimmer, you're gonna hate this. And that's just honest. I don't know if this is still available. It was limited edition, like once it's gone, it's gone. So I will have that on the, I'll have a link in the description box, but if you like those colors and you like those formulas, I think it's totally worth it, but it's not for everybody. And it's a companion palette for me, so that's why it has to be at the bottom versus a full-size palette. Okay, so number 8 is going to be the Paradise Islands palette. So this came out this summer. I really love this. This is one of their bigger palettes. I think I prefer the slightly smaller size, like their standard palettes. But I do really, really love this. It just ranks lower because it's very vibrant, and there are some shades that don't really work on my skin tone. So like this sky shade doesn't show up on me like at all. And this shimmer isn't the best on my skin tone. The rest are really great. It's very colorful. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, should this be higher? The reason it might be lower is also because I just haven't been in the mood for very vibrant, colorful looks that much lately. In the summer, I do enjoy them, and a lot of these are really nice pops. Some of these, like Stingray is like the most pigmented teal that I've ever used. Lizard is really, really beautiful true green. I think Tiki is beautiful. I think this is a beautiful color story. I think because it has a couple shades that don't really work in my skin tone, and it doesn't have anything like super dark for depth, are why it's just a little bit lower than others. But if you like this color story, I think it's totally worth it. The quality is great. I love this. It just ranks lower because of that. Okay, and then coming in at number 7 is going to be the new Cloud Forest palette. This is the Monteverde Costa Rica palette. This is my favorite packaging of all of the palettes. I love these little cutouts with the sloth. I think this is a gorgeous color story. Beautiful palette. I think this is one of their best formulas they've ever done. I don't know if they changed anything, but like these neon shades, this one, this one, this one, this one, are the best neons I've ever used. They don't, a lot of neons you have to pack on and you can't really blend that much. You can kind of lightly blend the edges, but if you blend too much, they disappear. These don't do that. I do think all of the green, all of the shimmers are basically green. This is like green and pink and gold. This one's blue. This one's like a teal, so like a dark forest green. So it pulls a little blue green on me. Lime green. This is a really beautiful like ashy green. This is like a blue green here. I think they're beautiful. I know that's why Jamila said that it's ranked lower because of how green it is. I think the reason it's lower for me is I just don't wear these vibrant pops. I do wear blue a lot. If I'm gonna wear color, I'm gonna wear blue or green. So having this glass wings, like dark green with this green spiny lizard shade or these blue shades, really great. And I have grabbed it a lot for those, but I've just not been in the mood for vibrant, colorful shadow that much the last few months, really. Even this summer, when I got this, I used it more for, I did a couple big dramatic colorful looks, but mostly I used it for pops of color, which I do really love. But I just haven't been in the mood, like the second half of this year, I just haven't been in the mood for vibrant, colorful looks as much. But I've also had health problems and been home a lot and tired, and it's just, you know, takes more effort to do those. Okay, so number 6, when I did the review, I was like, is this maybe one of my new favorites? And I thought that until I put them all side by side, and then it got knocked down a little bit. But I adore this palette, and this is the Fête de Provence palette that came out this summer. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful color story. I love these gray tones, I love these purples, I love the mix of cool and warm. I'm always a fan of that. I know some people didn't like this shimmer. It's kind of a satin orange gold peach. I don't have a problem with it, but I like satins. I think the reason this ranks a little bit lower is these top shades here are a little bit pale on me. I can use them to blend out, but I just wish they worked a little bit better. I think if you're my skin tone or darker, especially the yellow and this pink aren't gonna work that well on you. This shade will be fine, and these will be fine. Even these pale, like purple and grays worked okay. It was pretty much just the yellow and the pink. But I expect those with pale yellow and pinks, like they were okay. But these shades down here are beautiful. I love the shimmers in here. I think this is a really fun summer palette. But it's, you know, December. It's December 5th. Not in the mood for bright, colorful, sunny shadows. So I think that's part of why this is ranked a little bit lower. I'm just not using it as much. But this summer, I used this a lot. I used it more than these because it's a little softer. And I've just been in the mood for softer looks. So coming in next is going to be the Haunted Europe palette. This did just get discontinued recently. I don't know if there's any left on the website, but I do know it was on its way out. I really love this palette. I think this is perfect for the theme. I think the packaging is amazing. And I think the colors in here are beautiful. I do think these two golds are a little similar. Like you can see there, this one's a little more orangey and this one's a little more like yellow gold, but like pretty similar. But the other shades in here, they're so unique, like this dried blood shade, like literally supposed to be the color of dried blood. This shade down here is a really beautiful, beautiful warm, I don't know, like rust shade. This green is really beautiful. The shimmers in here are amazing. Like these greens and this like blue, like this slate kind of shade. This shade's really beautiful. I just love this palette. And I like that it's like your warm autumnal 9-pan and your cool winter 9-pan. I think that's just so well done, so beautiful. I just like some of these other color stories a little bit more, and I've used them a little bit more. But when I'm in the mood for that dark grungy thing, especially like January here in Seattle, great palette. Okay, so top 4. So number 4 is going to be the America's Parks palette. So this came out last summer, and I really, really love this palette. Some people said it's kind of a rainbow, but I mean, almost. You've got orange, yellow, green, purple. But I think this is a gorgeous color story. I think it's an interesting theme. So instead of being a single location, it was the first that was like a bunch of parks, and then the theme was parks itself versus like a country or a city. And I think the shades in here are really beautiful. This Big Bend shade here is so cool. It's like this brown with this purple mixed together. I think these greens are really beautiful. This one is named after the forest here in Washington. I love this brick kind of shade. I just think this is such a nice little color story. I think it's really versatile. I think this was the first one my friend Kelly got, and I love this. I just use the other 3 a little bit more than this one. Okay, coming in at number 3, this actually used to be my favorite palette from Nomad, and it holds a really special place in my heart. It was my first Nomad palette, and the other 2 have just kind of overtaken it as of late. So this is the Iceland palette, and I love this so much. I love blues, and it has these really unique icy blues. It's got these really beautiful duochromes right here that are so special. This Gallows Lava shade is the one I reach for the most now, actually. It's just this really interesting like olive smoke shade. Hell is a really nice red. I think these 2 shades work really well. I just don't wear those kind of orangey red colors very often. But I do like that they're there. I think this fits perfectly. You've got fire and ice. You've got the fairy colors over here. You've got earth. You've got fire, and then you've got the snow and ice. And I think this is one of their best palettes ever. I love every shade in here. I just have been using the other ones a little bit more, and because I don't really use, especially this bright orange very often, it just got knocked down a little bit lower than it used to be, but it's still, I mean, it's top 3. I think these are amazing palettes. Okay, So number 2 is gonna go to the Whistler Snow Lodge palette. So this came out at the start of the year, almost a year ago. Actually, and I went to Vancouver, BC right after I got this, and I took it with me. I love this palette so much. I think it's very, very versatile. Again, blue. I think it's like some of my favorite colors from these two palettes, but like obviously not identical, but like it's like the perfect mix of them. So again, you've got warm, you've got cool, paired beautifully together. It's very versatile. This is my favorite kind of green color. So I think this little green column works really beautifully. They pair really nicely with these neutrals. The blues in here are stunning. The Ski Bum shade is a blue pink duochrome and is gorgeous. Powder Specialist is a iridescent highlighter topper shade, kind of like in the holiday palette. I don't like this on the lid, but as an inner corner or face highlight, really pretty. But I don't wear pink highlights very often. So that's fine, but I did want to point that out. The blues in here, I like these blues. I think I like these blues a little more than this. That's why it ranked a little higher. Plus you have a nice charcoal shade and a brick red and this green. That's why it bumped up a little higher. I think the mix of blue with brick and green, it's so pretty. I love it so much. I think this is, I hope they never get rid of this. I think this is a perfect palette. And if you know Nomad's palettes and you know what I have, you're not gonna be surprised by number 1 at all, and it is the new Hudson Valley palette. This was their most recent before the holiday Christmas one, and I think this is the best thing they've done in a long time. I mean, I love all of these, but this is just so perfect. One, theme, perfect. Time of the year, I think this is the best fall palette that came out this year. I love the Gourmand Girls one as well, but this is just extra special to me. I love the packaging. It makes me miss the Northeast, which I consider my home. I've lived in California, the Pacific Northwest, and the Northeast. And California and the Northeast are the two that really resonate with me. It's so, so beautiful. I think this is one of the best reds I've ever used. You've got warm neutrals over here. You've got like warm neutrals here, red autumnal tones here. You've got these really interesting earthy tones here that are the color of like an apple cider donut and this like dirt color. And then you've got these really unique greens. And I think that's what really pushed it over, was everything about fall is captured here. And these greens, like the shade of moss, the shade of like this olivey color, I think they're the lichen colors. I think it's just so perfect. These look really nice on my skin tone. They worked beautifully. The shimmers in here, there's only 3, but they're perfect. They pair well with everything. And they're the Nomad shimmers where there's like just special sparkle in them. They're just so good. And I think the reason this is my favorite fall palette and my favorite palette is they really did get all of fall in here. You've got, most fall palettes tend to be just this side. You've just got, you know, fall leaf colors. You've got apples, and then you've got like those warm browns and dark reds that are the color of the leaves as they fall. But this also includes the earth, the rocks, the lichen, the little bit of green that's left in that like muted color. I just think, plus you've got the corn color. It's so good. I think this was really hyped this year and this fall, and I think it deserves all of it. I think this is beautiful, and I can't wait to see what they do next year. Okay, so that is all of my palettes. Let me know what you think of my ranking, how you would rank them. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you haven't tried Nomad, which ones are you thinking you might want to try? Just love to hear what you guys think in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.